cherish the treasure of you, lifelong companion. I give myself to you. God has enabled me to walk with you faithfully and cherish the treasure of you. Cherish the treasure of you.
Flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. There's no one closer to you. A flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. We are one. I do pledge my life to you forever and always. I will take good care of you and shower you with praise. Others try and separate us, but they don't have a chance. No one can take your place. No, not even one. You are flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. We are one. I do give my life to you today and every day. I will stand right by your side, whatever comes our way. I have searched and searched for someone who'd make my dreams come true. Nowhere else on this earth is there anyone
If they want to, yeah. Okay, right. So this is going to be taken away now, then, isn't it? Yes. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, Hanson's going to take the cake away, or? Is it worth me starting or not?
Do you need Peter, or do you?
Yes, Peter should be here.
Oh, Peter.
But well, unless he wants to stay down at the moment, or are you saying anything, or not? No. Okay. Don't worry. I'll say it. Okay. I was wondering whether you wanted to say any words or nothing. No.
Well, that's good.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. So, do you want to? So, do you want to be up here when I do mine, or not? Or you stay there. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Right. He's taking this all away. Okay. So, how many people do you need? Where are you going to cut it? Next door? Downstairs. Okay. So, Richard and Michael, can you give a hand to lift the cake downstairs? Do you want to go? You can go down. It might be safer to take it down in the lift, do you think?
I think we're going to need just the cake. Last time we did it, it took us to hold.
Yeah, I'll take it away, shall we? Right. I don't know if the sound's been picked up and relayed downstairs. Is it been picked up okay, Andy? The sound? I'll take that to be a yes.
Yeah, he's just coming.
Right, this is a triumph because I managed to get Denise up on the platform. She wasn't too keen to come up, which is, but it's really good. Can I just, on behalf of Denise and myself, give everybody, wherever you are, a big welcome and thank you for joining us today. I know some people have come quite a distance, and there are other people who would like to have been here but have not been able to make it because of COVID. In particular, I'm thinking of Denise's brother and sister in Canada and my daughter in Australia. But there are other members of the family and friends around the world that have certainly seen the first part of the wedding service on YouTube. And if they're still listening, we would love you to have been with us, but it just wasn't possible. It's not quite what we'd anticipated, is it? All this wearing masks and supposedly no hugging and keeping a distance. We're not meant to sing, no overseas guests. But having postponed once, we felt that we wanted to go ahead with it now and do it as best we can. And I think I do need to apologise to the people that we couldn't fit into this worship area during the service. And unfortunately, most of those were Bushey Baptist people. So I really do thank you for being so patient, and hope that you'll forgive me for giving preference to family and friends from elsewhere. I want to keep my comments quite brief, and I'm not going to go through all of this, but I do need to thank people, and this is in no particular order, as I think they say on Strictly Come Dancing. But the Reverend Sean Lambert. Sean, I'd like to thank you so much for conducting the service. It was truly lovely, and I think just couched in the right way. It was serious, and yet it was informal. And thank you so much. And as Sean has mentioned, he's known Denise for over 20 years. I'd like to thank Graham for his expertise on the keyboard, and it was really good. I have to say that when Denise told me that she'd chosen the music was perfect, I thought, yes, well, it's very kind of her to make a tribute to me at this early stage, but she told me that it's really Ed Sheeran's music. It's in honour of him, not you, darling. So for Neela, for that wonderful, wonderful wedding cake, thank you so much. I just hope it wasn't ruined going down the stairs and ended up on the floor. And everybody will be able to have a bit shortly when I finished what I've got to say. Right. Can I thank Verity and Jenny for that they are Bushey Baptist Tame registrars, but thank you for doing that for us. That's really appreciated. Jeremy and Eric and now Andy for sorting out the sound and the streaming and generally the technical side of things. And for the Bushey Baptist people who have helped to, well, I think, have a successful wedding. I think that things so far have gone quite smoothly. It's not going to be like this all the time.
Oh, all right.
So get used to a few disasters. And to Bushey Baptist itself for allowing us to use this building, which is, now that it's been refurbished, is a lovely building to have something like this. I think most of you know that Denise and I met in passing about 56 years ago. And I remember her as a young 16, 17-year-old tripping around in a miniskirt. And one couldn't help but notice her in those days. But she had eyes for other boys, and I was in a lower league. So, but I didn't realise that my second chance might come round. But, and I'm saying that in joking, but Denise had a lovely marriage to Richard and has raised a superb family, credit to them both, and I with Carol, and I think I can probably say the same about my family. So we looking back, we're just thankful for what we've had, and looking forward, we're thankful for the future. I guess there are a few other sort of thank yous to make insofar as I met Denise again after 56 years, about 18 months ago, at an event at Stanmore Baptist Church, the funeral of a dear friend's wife, and Jean, who I knew well, but Dennis, who I work with in Covenanters at Woodcroft Church. And he mentioned, and I think that Margaret, who was also there, Margaret Mazel, mentioned that I ought to go and say hello to Denise, and I couldn't remember who Denise was because they kept saying Denise Kerner, but I knew her as Denise Boatman. And as soon as one of them said Boatman, I thought, oh yes, it's that girl with the mini dress, so mini skirt. So they said she's in the kitchen serving teas. So I went bounding in there, and I couldn't see any 16-year-old in a mini dress. So I asked the two ladies, and one of them said, "Yes, I'm Denise, it's me." So I was a little bit embarrassed, but she probably didn't recognise me either. But well, I'm sure she didn't recognise me. But we had a quick chat, and we found that we were in a similar position, having lost our spouses fairly recently. And I drove home and sort of thought, well, you know, she seemed a really, really nice person. And it's a shame I didn't arrange to have a cup of coffee with her. But rather stupidly, I didn't know how to do it for a couple of months. I could have contacted Denise, or even, I don't know whether Margaret could have put us in touch. But that didn't happen. And then one Sunday, Andrula, who worships with us here, came to me. She said, "Oh, hey, you met Denise?" And I said, "No, I don't know Denise." She said, "Yes, you do, Denise Kerner." "No, I don't know Denise Kerner." "Well, she met you at a funeral." "Oh, you mean Denise Boatman?" "Right, yes, okay, it's all coming back to me now." And so it was through Andrula that eventually I managed to get Denise's telephone number after she'd been through all the security risks, and which I didn't think I was a problem to people, but apparently I am. And so we had a cup of coffee before Christmas, and then I wanted to have another cup of coffee with Denise, but she seemed to have so much on and so many friends she has to see that it could have quite a while, didn't it, for us to have our second. But I very quickly realised that this little slip of a girl, 16-year-old, who's developed into a beautiful, mature lady, she was so much better than I had remembered her, because I very quickly came to understand that not only did she have a lovely personality, she'd raised a lovely family, but she had a heart for God. She had a heart for the Lord. And very soon, that was one of the things that made me think, well, I've just got to get to know her more, and we've got to share things a little bit more. And hey presto, it's all ended up with us being here today. So it's really good. And we've somehow commented a couple of times that all those years ago, with the Lord looking down on us, having love for us, thinking, oh, well, you know, 50 odd years' time, you'll meet up again. And we really believe it's in God's plan that we are together. I do struggle to explain to myself exactly how God works out his plan, but I do believe that it's in God's plan that we should meet and we should get married. And as Sean has covered in his lovely address, we just want to give our married life to God and to serve him as best we can. And with all of your help, we will do that. For me, everything has changed, and yet nothing has changed. I made my vows to Denise, and I will certainly keep those to my best ability until my dying day. So we'll share our faith together. But for me, there are 3 F's in life that are so important. First and foremost, our faith, our belief in Jesus as our Saviour and Lord of our lives. But also our family, and I thought I had quite a big family. I now find that I've got an enormous family, and my love for my existing family and Denise's for hers will not diminish, and I hope to be able to share my love with my new family. And the same goes for friends. Denise has got so many friends. I've got so many friends, and we just want to share our friends together and to get to know our friends in the weeks, months, and years ahead. So in God's will, we will work through those things. And please, those of you who are believers and those that aren't believers will think that some of the things I'm saying might be a bit strange. But we really believe that at the heart of our lives, at the heart of our marriage, is Jesus Christ. If you are a believer, then please pray for us as we work through that. Thank you so much for coming again. Thank you for the cards and the gifts, most of whom we haven't been able to open, but we do appreciate it, and we will respond. And I certainly look forward to seeing those that I don't know for the future. Have I said enough? Just before I hand over to my good friend Peter, you may have thought, well, he should have thanked Peter, who's my best man. Well, his job's not finished until the end of the day, so I will thank him then. But I'll ask him now to come up and just say a few words.
Good afternoon. It's a privilege to be here. I know many of you, the people on this side of the church, I don't know so well, but I've known Ivon for 60-ish years. Petrol was 5p a litre then, or 4.11 a gallon as it used to be sold. He's been a close friend of mine for that time, and we've done a lot of things together. He was then an active churchgoer, and as a result, I came to faith. He was my best man in...
Oh, you just stand nearer the mic, only not being heard.
Sorry. 1970. Denise has made a wise choice. He's gone from a bike-riding teenager to a wise, learned senior gentleman, still in his prime. Intellectually sharp and brimming with wit and charm. It's very clear because Denise kept going out with him. All those things must be true, mustn't they? But enough of history, that just gives you a bit of context. We've done a lot of things together, including being leaders of this church and being white van men for a charity. That was fun. But we decided in our 60s moving furniture upstairs was maybe not the wisest plan. I was going to tell some funny stories, but I'm not going to. I was very pleased to hear that Ivon had met somebody to spend time with, for company, and of course, that's evolved and culminates in the celebration today. Jeanette and I are extremely happy for them. Just sorry we couldn't see more of them. It's been a tough time for everybody. I know Ivon's children very well, and it's been a joy to see them grow up. Denise, Mrs. Carnall, I can say to your children, family and friends gathered here, can I have a wave from those people? Prove you're still awake? Thank you. They will find your husband is an asset. WYSIWYG is what they used to say. Does anybody remember WYSIWYG? Used to talk about computers being WYSIWYG. It was new, it was wonderful. What you see is what you get. WYSIWYG. And that's Ivon. He's considered, principled and straightforward, with a good sense of humour and a dose of pragmatism learnt from dealings in business. So a new phase of life for both of you. I look forward to seeing what your roles are as you serve Christ. Together as man and wife. Jeanette and I, and I'm sure everybody here, wishes you every happiness, and we look forward to the time when masks are in the past and we can fellowship together, unfettered by social distancing. Bless you.
Right, I think the plan now is to go back to your tables, and hopefully cake will be there, and we're going to make our departure in about 20 minutes, so which you'll be pleased to know, and you can do what you need to do then. But thanks.